Everyone knows that Lisa Rain hates me to the bone. She hates me for stubbornly clinging to this marriage. She hates me for not giving her back her freedom. She has filed for divorce 99 times. But each time I refused. In the moment she proposed divorce for the 100th time, I agreed without a shred of hesitation. Fine. Let's get divorced. Lisa Rain, you're free now. The first time she demanded a divorce was when my heart suffered acute bleeding. Lisa Rain coldly and heartlessly said, as long as you agree to the divorce, I'll sign the surgery consent form. The second time she demanded divorce was on the day I had a car accident. Lisa Rain held the phone in one hand. As long as you agree to the divorce, I'll call an ambulance for you. And the 99th time was when I was kidnapped by robbers. Lisa Rain still spoke in that icy tone. As long as you agree to the divorce, I'll pay the ransom. I'm truly exhausted now. I never wanted to bow my head. But Dr. Lin told me, the heart after the previous surgery has fallen into a state of exhaustion, unable to hold on any longer. In 7 days I'll pass away. Lisa Rain was once known as the iceberg beauty of the capital. With a cold and distant personality, from childhood I've loved trailing after her. But that very person who fears trouble, and is incredibly aloof, once risked everything to save my life, braving danger, going in and out of the flames dozens of times, snatching me from the clutches of the king of hell. My parents both died in a fire. For a long time I couldn't utter a word. It was Lisa Rain who patiently stayed by my side, teaching me to speak bit by bit. On nights when I feared the darkness, she would tell me stories through the entire night, staying awake with me, chatting tirelessly. I mistakenly believed I was being loved. So when Lisa Rain proposed marriage, I agreed without a second thought. It wasn't until after the wedding when I discovered the truth, that my family's estate had been completely devoured by her. The day I burst into the office to confront her, I only saw Lisa Rain passionately embracing and kissing Lance Harlan. Dylan, peace, you've seen it now. Divorce me. My Lance needs a proper status. I rushed forward in a frenzy to question her. Why on earth, you think I truly love you? Dylan, peace. When your mother drove my mother to her death, did she feel as desperate as you do now? In that moment I suddenly realized she hated me. A deep-seated grudge that had lasted a full 10 years. So I went mad. Like a rabid dog obsessively guarding its last possession. I couldn't divorce. Absolutely not. I wouldn't allow myself to bow before her. But I'm about to die. Thinking back, I see how pathetic I am right now. I absolutely won't let anyone see me in this wretched state. Even if I have to die. I don't need Lisa Rain to collect my body. I don't know how much time passed. I suddenly woke from a hazy dream. In the dream Lisa Rain gently held me. The world was filled with the vibrant pink of roses. She prayed sincerely, her eyes brimming with infatuation. Peace. We'll be husband and wife for this lifetime, okay? But when I opened my eyes, the world was nothing but pitch black. Lisa Rain had just posted a photo on her social circle. A glaring red streak on a wrinkled bedsheet, with the caption, finally found the true love of my life. The next day I gathered all the remaining money and went to buy a plot of land for my grave, and the contact person was none other than Lisa Rain. Preparing my own funeral arrangements myself, I returned to the villa. In front of the villa gate, all sorts of my personal belongings were discarded and scattered everywhere like trash. A familiar male voice rang out, making my heart clench in an instant. Rain, does this place really all belong to you now? Lisa Rain smiled enchantingly. It's all mine. From now on I'm the owner of this house. Neither of them noticed I was standing at the door. I clenched my palms tightly, trying to preserve my last shred of dignity from utter defeat. Looking down at the ground, the memorial photos between me and Lisa Rain had all been torn into shreds. What pained me most was my parents' memorial tablet thrown carelessly into a puddle of dirty water, covered in filth and grime. Who did this? I clenched my fists. Flames of hatred blazed in my eyes. Lance Harlan was startled by me, quickly hiding behind Lisa Rain, putting on a pitiful act as he said, Rain. He looks so fierce. He won't hit you, will he? Lisa Rain's expression remained utterly emotionless. Only her hand tightly protected Lance Harlan behind her. She showed clear anger. I did it. Do you have a problem with that? This is my house. You've already signed the divorce papers. If you're uncomfortable, then get out. My heart stung for a moment, but my demeanor grew even calmer. We haven't registered the divorce yet. This place is still my home. And the man behind you, what status does he have exactly? Do I need to call the police to arrest him? Those words immediately ignited Lisa Rain's fury. Her eyebrows slightly furrowed. The disgust in her eyes seemed about to overflow. Her entire aura exuded bone-chilling coldness. She sneered, Dylan, peace. Where's your backbone? Where did you throw your self-respect? I silently picked up the memorial tablet, walked upstairs in a daze, right in front of Lisa Rain. I mercilessly threw all of Lance Harlan's luggage to the ground. Lance Harlan's eyes turned red in an instant, crying and screaming to leave this place, while I slammed the door shut, locking everything outside. I'm so tired, truly worn out. Clearly this house is the last inheritance my parents left me before they passed. Lisa Rain knows that full well. Why do I keep stubbornly guarding this place? Because this is my home. But now I helplessly let go. The last bit of strength in my heart seems to vanish. I realize I'm nearing my limit. I force myself up, dragging this battered body to retrieve all the memories between me and Lisa Rain over the years. The black suit she gave me for my birthday. Turns out it was just something picked up casually when tailoring designer clothes for Lance Harlan. That thick stack of safety amulets with hundreds of charms. The backs were filled with Lance Harlan's birth details. Even the wedding ring she gave me back then. Only now, looking closely, the inner band is engraved with Lance Harlan's initials. I was so foolish all along. Only awakening to this now. Lisa Rain never loved me, not even for a moment. My body no longer has the strength to think further. Taking advantage of Lisa Rain being out, I took everything to the garden. Burned it all, cleaned up until nothing remained. Just as I was about to close my eyes for a brief rest, the ringtone dedicated to Lisa Rain suddenly rang out, shattering the silence. Instinctively I answered. Dylan, peace. Timmy's in trouble. Hurry over here. I jolted in shock. Rushed out the door immediately. Throughout the drive I prayed nonstop. Timmy is the child with leukemia I adopted years ago. But after Lisa Rain completely turned against me, I had no choice but to send the boy to an orphanage. Visiting him regularly every week. Timmy is so well behaved. No matter how much pain he's in, the boy would just gently hold my hand. Dad, it doesn't hurt. But when I rushed to the place, using all my strength to push open the orphanage door, in the crowd Lance Harlan suddenly burst into mocking laughter. Ha 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 ha. Rain, you were right. He's just like a dog. One call from you and he comes crawling. I turned to leave, but Lance Harlan roughly grabbed my wrist. I was about to resist when he shoved me tumbling into the pond. Who do you think you are, daring to call me the third wheel? The moment I climbed back to the shore, the first thing I did was charge straight at Lance Harlan, raising my hand high, mustering all my remaining strength, delivering a resounding slap to his face. When I opened my eyes again, all I saw was the white of the hospital ceiling. I wearily sat up, only to discover on my face, and throughout my body, waves of heart-wrenching pain. Dr. Lin saw me, about to touch the wounds on my face, rushed over to hold my hand. Sir, don't move. You just underwent full-body skin graft surgery. The wounds are extremely fragile right now. Skin graft? I froze for a second, suddenly rushing to the sink. On my face now, crisscrossed with large and small wounds, oozing thin lines of blood. Dr. Lin still struggled to stop me. Sir, you'd better not move too much. Even though your appearance is ruined now, but if you rest well later, there's still a chance it can be treated. My tears silently fell, soaking into the wounds and stinging even more. But what later do I have left? Lisa Rain stood at the door. This time you owe Lance. That slap from you directly tore a deep gash on his face. He's disfigured now. You have to compensate him. Besides, he was wrong first during the day. He's already been punished. I let out a bitter laugh, laughing until my whole face throbbed in agony. What punishment? Lisa Rain slightly frowned, coldly responding to my question. He fears pain the most. Isn't the pain from the skin graft surgery enough? I knew full well her bias and favoritism toward him. But hearing that answer, my whole body couldn't help but tremble. So Lisa Rain, over 30 scars on my face in exchange for his pain. Is this what you call punishment? The aura around Lisa Rain instantly turned sinister, her face like an unchanging iceberg for 1,000 years. Dylan, peace. What are you still struggling for? Just be obedient. Admit your fault. It'll be better for both of us. I frantically grabbed the phone to call the police. But Lisa Rain just glanced indifferently. I already said it during the day, didn't I? We haven't divorced yet. So I signed your skin graft consent form. You want to call the police? Go ahead. Just try and see across this Capitol. If any cop dares to take this case. With that, she lost all interest, decisively turning and walking away, leaving me alone, pathetically staring at the blurred 110 on the phone screen. I hate to the bone why I love Lisa Rain so much. I had no mind left for further treatment. Dragging myself home, Lance Harlan had moved in at some point, standing in the living room posing for beautiful photos, preparing to post on his social circle. I didn't want to tangle with him, planning to go upstairs for the house ownership certificate. This house, I have to sell it. No matter what, I can't let it fall into Lisa Rain's hands. Lance Harlan saw my back and called out sharply, stop. I didn't bother responding, but the next second I was roughly pulled back. I wanted to struggle, but the strength of a sick man is far too weak. I couldn't escape. The scar so small it's hard to notice on Lance Harlan's face. Dylan, peace. Look at this necklace Rain bought for me. There's only one like it in the world. His face brimmed with smugness. I knew, without Lisa Rain's unconditional indulgence, he wouldn't dare act so arrogantly. I hung my head, not replying to him, trying to breathe and preserve my last strength to go upstairs. Lance Harlan saw I had no reaction, and forced me to look up. Dylan, peace. What are you pretending for? You must be furious inside, right? The woman you've loved for so long has never loved you for even a second. I quietly looked up, smiling faintly as I said, And what about you, the third wheel inserting into someone else's marriage? You marry her, aren't you afraid that someday someone else will take your place? How pitiful. A flash of malice crossed Lance Harlan's eyes. Dylan, peace, just wait. I'll take away what's most precious to you. I thought he meant Lisa Rain's love, but unexpectedly that very night, the entire villa burst into flames. In the thick smoke, someone roughly pulled me up, firefighters shielding behind, urgently escorting me out. No, I suddenly realized something, wanting to rush back in for my parents' memorial tablet, but the firefighters held me tight. Lance Harlan had been rescued by Lisa Rain earlier, now held tightly in Lisa Rain's arms, his expression still defiant. I'm not wrong, what did I do wrong? He called me the third wheel, he hurt me, so I have to punish him. For the first time Lisa Rain didn't defend him, instead coldly telling him to shut up. But I heard nothing more. Before me only the savage flames consuming everything. The last memories of my family home vanished into smoke. I choked in rage, vomiting a mouthful of blood, unable to stand any longer, consciousness fading into darkness. This is the second day I've woken up, but my throat is still hoarse, not bothering to say a word. Lance Harlan's face pale, eyes red as if suffering a grave injustice. I'm sorry. Lisa Rain stood behind him, taking the initiative. This time Lance was immature. I had no reaction. He's young and reckless. Making mistakes is only natural. That house'll compensate you in the divorce agreement. I sat slumped on the bed, grabbing everything around and hurling it at them fiercely, only able to let out a weak hoarse growl. Get out, all of you. Lisa Rain didn't force me anymore, instinctively shielding Lance Harlan behind her. Throughout that day, she stayed by my side, caring for me, even when I threw things until her face swelled and bruised. When I cursed her viciously, everything seemed to return to how it was in the beginning. But I knew clearly, someone like Lisa Rain hates owing others the most. So she's atoning on behalf of Lance Harlan. She held me in her arms, warming me time after time, and would place a sweet candy after I drank the bitter medicine. That attentiveness was meticulous in every detail, making me almost have an illusion I shouldn't have. Could it be she loves me again? But in the dead of night, I woke from throat pain, seeking water. The room pitch black without light, instinctively walking toward the door with light spilling in, but the noise from there made me halt. The friend's laughter made Lisa Rain slightly frown. Quiet down, don't wake him. Lance Harlan pouted discontentedly. Rain, you've been with him so long. When will it be my turn to be by your side? Lisa Rain said nothing, just indulgently pinching his small face. The truth or dare turn. Stopped in front of Lisa Rain. Everyone exchanged knowing smiles, asking the question they'd long wondered. Sister Rain, clearly at the start you didn't need to help him practice speaking. You could still complete your revenge plan without it. Why bother with the extra effort? Lisa Rain's expression remained unchanged, but her gaze toward Lance Harlan was full of tenderness. Because if he couldn't speak, bedroom matters would lose their thrill. So in the end I never gave him even once. Lisa Rain sat in the middle like a victor, even careless enough not to notice the trembling shadow behind the door. I desperately covered my mouth, not wanting to become that pathetic. I clearly know Lisa Rain doesn't love me. No, I can't continue loving her. But why does my heart hurt so much? I numbly returned to bed. Turns out I'm the ultimate fool from start to finish. Lisa Rain came from the beginning aiming for revenge. I sat motionless on the bed crying through the long night, to the point that the next day when Lisa Rain approached, she was startled by my pallid face. I looked at the woman before me who no longer resembled the young girl from my memories years ago. Suddenly I spoke. Lisa Rain, you don't need to do these things for me anymore. I find you utterly disgusting. Lisa Rain's movements froze. She was about to say something, but my next words were like a final farewell. In 4 days we'll divorce. Come with me to handle Timmy's adoption procedures. If the boy has a mother like you, he'll only feel disgusted. Lisa Rain's gaze toward me darkened. In the end she still nodded in agreement, but she made one single request. That is to let Lance Harlan move into the villa we bought when we first married. Timmy, since being sent back to the orphanage, has become increasingly sullen and quiet. Each time the boy clutched my hand calling Dad, my heart ached unbearably. But I'm about to die. After this I can't protect him anymore. I can only try to save a bit more money, buy a few more sets of clothes, hoping to find a decent family for him. I've tasted all the bitterness in life. I can't let Timmy be dragged down too. But Lisa Rain kept making me wait. She said wait until Lance Harlan moves in before taking me. I waited patiently. She then said wait until Lance Harlan settles in. I stayed up another sleepless night. Then she said again, wait until Lance Harlan finishes cleaning the rooms before going. I understood clearly how depleted my body has become. I know I can't wait any longer. So for the first time I erupted in rage before Lisa Rain. Finally she agreed to take me. But what I saw wasn't a living Timmy, but a gravestone. Cold and lifeless Lisa Rain stood behind me. Her words carried a hint of reluctance but were chillingly rational. His leukemia couldn't find a matching marrow transplant. He wouldn't survive anyway. Dylan, peace. Don't be so foolish anymore. I could only helplessly look up, staring blankly at that nameless gravestone, dazed sitting there for a long while. I no longer remember how I got back. From the moment I returned I said no more words, just silently sitting there, meticulously using my hands, folding each small set of clothes newly bought for Timmy, one by one neatly. Lisa Rain silently watched me. At exactly 6 o'clock she appeared at the door, bringing me a bowl of plain porridge. Eat a little or your body will collapse. But I still had no reaction, just coldly sitting there folding clothes. Until deep into the night, Lisa Rain irritably closed her eyes, accidentally touching my hand, cold to a frightening degree. Let me go buy medicine for you. Even if you want to die, don't die here. It's really bad luck. Lisa Rain's face ashen as she stepped out the door. The sky-piercing pain from my scalp forced me to look up. Lance Harlan viciously grabbed my hair, yanking it back, his face filled with jealousy and resentment. Who are you pretending to be weak for? Dylan Peace, isn't it just a child dying? What are you acting dumb for? His voice hissed. Dylan Peace. I hate this self-righteous moral act of yours the most. Even if he hadn't died, if I became his stepfather, I'd have 100 ways to make him die. Dylan Peace, could you even manage that? My eyes bloodshot, glaring at Lance Harlan like a venomous snake. But he looked into my eyes, and only found it ridiculous. Still daring to glare at me. I've been too respectful to you already. Even the fact that I told Lisa Rain to stop his medication. What can you do to me? For the first time I felt hatred to the extreme. Hating myself for being so weak. Hating why I didn't discover the truth sooner. But hating back and forth. I only hated why I loved Lisa Rain. My hand kept groping on the ground, finally touching the cold dagger. I surged up, grabbing it, mustering strength to stab fiercely at Lance Harlan. But I was still a step slow. The knife missed. Lisa Rain coldly watched me going mad, hurriedly checking Lance Harlan, who was crying hysterically 4 or 5 times. After confirming he was fine, she glared at me with icy eyes. Dylan Peace, have you fucking lost your mind? I faced her directly, grinding my teeth to spit out each word. He deserves it. Lisa Rain scooped Lance Harlan up horizontally, still finding ways to excuse him. He was just talking, the one who decided to stop the medication. Stopping Timmy's medication was me. Why don't you just kill me if you're so capable? It was like hearing a ridiculous joke. My red eyes suddenly burst into laughter. He just said it casually and you dared stop the medication. He indirectly killed Timmy. And he's still innocent. Lisa Rain, just how much do you love him? I suddenly charged before Lisa Rain. I do hate him. Lisa Rain. If you're capable, never let me see him for the rest of this life. See him once, I'll kill him once. Lisa Rain's eyes filled with venomous hatred, turning decisively to leave. The vast villa now left only me alone. Dylan Peace. You're just like your damned mother. She was vicious and you're vicious just like her. If anything happens to Lance, I'll make you bury with him. Known each other for a full 26 years. Married for 10 years. Lisa Rain had never insulted my mother, even in our fiercest arguments. She never spoke harshly. Yet now she personally stabbed this knife into my chest. I collapsed to the ground in despair, trying to curl my body up. Why, Lisa Rain? Isn't it enough that I die because of Lance Harlan? Why take Timmy's life too? You knew full well. For the boy's sake. I'd given you everything already. Why could you be so heartless? I screamed out each question, but answering me were only the cold words from the guards. Miss Lisa has orders. You intentionally tried to harm Mr. Lance, causing him fright. According to family law, you must go to the cold storage to reflect. With that, several guards immediately charged forward, roughly dragging me and throwing me into the cold storage. I shivered from the extreme cold, my breaths forming icy frost. Time ticked by minute by second, my heartbeat slowing more and more. I passed out, and when I opened my eyes again, I found myself lying on the hospital bed. Lisa Rain's eyes red to a terrifying degree. She grabbed my collar, grinding her teeth to say each word. Dylan Peace. I won't let you die so easily. I want you to live in torment for the rest of this life. I gave a faint, weak smile, really wanting to tell her not to bother, because I am about to die. It wasn't until the next day that I understood what she meant. Without waiting for me to react, several guards forcibly pushed me into the blood drawing room. Miss Lisa. Mr. Dylan just escaped danger. Drawing blood now, I'm afraid. Lisa Rain just coldly looked at my still stubborn back, speaking with authority. Lance Harlan may have anemia, but clearly has the most common blood type. Yet he insisted on me transfusing blood to him. When nearly a bag was drawn, my eyelids grew heavier, gradually slipping into coma. Lisa Rain calmly instructed the doctor. Give him painkillers. Don't let him faint midway. Dr. Lin stepped in from outside. Attitude extremely firm, Miss Lisa. This time we really can't draw any more blood. But I extended my arm, eyes empty as I asked. After drawing, can I leave then? Lisa Rain's eyes flickered slightly, but she still coldly pulled my hand to the doctor. After drawing, well, go divorce. I had no strength left to speak. I hung my head, like a rag doll at others' mercy. I don't know how long passed. Everything finally ended. I collapsed on the table. Lisa Rain snorted coldly, ordering guards to hoist me up and head straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Fresh blood kept spilling from the corner of my mouth. I seemed to use my last strength to sign the divorce papers. Holding the divorce certificate in hand, I intended to leave, but Lisa Rain directly gripped my wrist tight, her smile still full of sarcasm and mockery. Where are you going? Lance is still very weak today. You have to stay here as his backup blood bag. I silently bowed my head. With no strength left to resist, I was taken away. At the wedding, Lisa Rain gently linked arms with Lance Harlan. The happiness on her face could move anyone, except me, the one comatose in the dark corner of the second-floor pain. So painful I vomited a large mouthful of blood, my whole body trembling non-stop. I know I've reached my final limit. Instinctively I wanted to step forward. No, I absolutely can't die humiliatingly here. But as my hand touched the stair railing, my whole body was roughly pulled back by Lisa Rain. Lance Harlan suddenly fainted. Hurry over and transfuse blood to him. I could no longer speak. Large mouthfuls of blood forced back down my chest by me. I wanted to tell her I'm about to die. But I absolutely don't want to die here. I stopped struggling, letting tube after tube of blood be drawn from my body. Outside the window, guests merrily toasting. My consciousness gradually blurred, as if returning to the day we married. Back then Lisa Rain was thoroughly drunk, but she still instinctively held my hand tight. All sorts of chaotic sounds intertwined. I wearily closed my eyes, seeming to hear her say peace. I'll absolutely never let you down. Seeming to hear her softly call peace. I'll absolutely never let you down. A blinding white light flashed before my eyes. I completely breathed my last right on the blood-drawing table. In Lisa Rain's heart a sudden stabbing pain struck. She half leaned on the chair. In her drunken haze, she suddenly remembered me. That man who never yielded. I was always silent but full of determination. But every time we argued, I would silently endure it all. She had witnessed me from initial pleas to the later heartbreak, and then the desperate perseverance. She had toyed with me countless times. Once she even resolutely avoided me for a whole month. I didn't cry or make a scene, waiting until she returned home, still quietly bringing her a hot cup of coffee. She couldn't understand what this man was so stubborn about. Clearly she had treated me so cruelly. Clearly she had gone mad wanting to push me far away. But Lisa Rain knew full well, all of that was only because I loved her too much. Her palms trembled non-stop, unable to suppress the emotions for me, unable to stop thinking of everything about me. Dr. Lin told her, after the transfusion I'm still resting there, because I have nowhere else to go. Hearing that answer she let out a soft sigh of relief. But why couldn't her soul find peace? Lance Harlan brought a glass of milk from the kitchen. Rain, drink this milk. It'll help you sleep better. His face showed delicate features, with a gentle smile 3 parts similar to mine, etched deep into Lisa Rain's mind. Exactly like me 3 years ago, always smiling. Yes, Lance Harlan is very much like me. From eyebrows, eyes to the corners of his mouth. Even that arrogant personality. The reason she decided to get engaged to Lance Harlan, besides him being obedient and sensible, more importantly it was the nostalgia in her heart. She reached out to pull Lance Harlan into her arms, her heart heavy with thoughts. The world doesn't have only one like me. In her eyes I was just an ordinary man too. She didn't believe she couldn't let go of my shadow. Lance Harlan's cheeks slightly flushed. He rested his head in Lisa Rain's embrace, his face beaming with joy. Since their deal began, this was the first time she initiated intimacy like this. Perhaps they could take this chance to go further. Lisa Rain's clothes were removed. Lance Harlan couldn't wait and offered his kiss. But she only looked at him with indifferent eyes, the disgust in her gaze almost uncontrollable. She couldn't accept any man besides me. Lance Harlan, have you forgotten our deal? Lance Harlan pursed his lips tight, eyes full of unwillingness. Rain, but we're married now. Lisa Rain had stood up. With an emotionless smile she tied her tie again. You know full well this is just an act. You act with me. I'll provide resources for you. If not for your gambling debt-ridden father, you wouldn't have the chance to sit here. Lisa Rain was like an emotionless machine, opening her mouth to judge and decide everything. With that the woman left without lingering, stood up and went downstairs. Lance Harlan clenched his palms. His red-rimmed eyes gradually turned more vicious, because he realized, a substitute like him could never replace that person's position. In Lisa Rain's heart, Lisa Rain lay on the bed, her mind swirling with the heartless conversation with me before, still unable to close her eyes. In the end she couldn't hold back, actively calling that number. The ringtone sounded, making her heart even more chaotic, until the rejection tone faded away. The room fell into terrifying silence, her mind now utterly confused. She still actively called Dr. Lin. Go find Dylan Peace for me. If he's fine don't call me back. Dr. Lin was stunned. Things like this, though he had done countless for Lisa Rain. But this time he still cautiously asked again. But Lisa Rain, at the divorce you said, from now on no more reports on Mr. Dylan. Lisa Rain closed her eyes. speaking like a final severance. Find him. After arranging everything for him, send him abroad. Then tell him to never appear before me again. Just treat him as dead. Dr. Lin looked at the disconnected phone. Let out a soft sigh. Lisa Rain is truly stubbornly terrifying. Clearly she still worries about me, yet absolutely refuses to admit it. He had been by her side for over 20 years. Witnessing her attitude toward me changed time and again. But the one thing unchanged was her feelings for me. Back then she was still a child. When she learned, my mother was the one who drove her mother to death. For nearly a week she couldn't speak. She just sat silently for a very long time. By the time Dr. Lin noticed, her eyes were empty, tears blurring from who knows when. The first time Dr. Lin saw her so sorrowful, her gaze utterly hopeless. Dr. Lin, I can't stop loving him. Dr. Lin had witnessed her firsthand, marrying me with a mix of hatred and love. At first we had happy days together. Lisa Rain poured all her deep resentment onto my family. She calculated everything, but only to build a false wall of happiness for me. But in the end I still discovered the truth about the family assets. I held the asset report to confront her. My tears fell soaking her arm. Lisa Rain then seemed on the verge of collapse. In the end she forced herself to turn away, uttering words against her conscience. I truly hate you. I hate you to the bone. Hate you so much I want you gone from this world. I didn't believe, no one could believe, that Lisa Rain who loved me so deeply could hate me. But I sought her time after time, from hope to utter despair. In the end, I even drank a lot of sedatives in my room. That was the first time Lisa Rain rushed with me on her back to seek the doctor. She said she no longer loved me, only begging me to keep living. She asked the doctor how I could survive. Dr. Lin helplessly sighed, telling her that sometimes hatred lasts longer than love. So we went through 10 years of love and hate, tormenting each other for a full 10 years. Dr. Lin silently sighed. Returning to the hall where the wedding was just held, a sudden eerie cold air hit his face. Instinctively he shivered slightly. The wedding decorations hadn't been cleared yet. Under the sparkling colorful lights, he saw only my pale face devoid of color. He had approached full of hope. But the next second, my cold body just collapsed like that. My death appearance utterly tragic and wretched. Blood oozing from all 7 orifices. Most terrifying was the blood still flowing non-stop from my mouth. Dr. Lin instinctively stepped back 2 paces. The horror in his eyes impossible to hide. In his mind now only one thought remained. He's dead. He immediately called there first. Not the hospital, but the funeral home. Before him now one thought kept amplifying. That is, Lisa Rain will surely go mad. At the same time, Lisa Rain's heart suddenly sent a tearing pain. She gripped the table edge hard, letting her body lean fully on the sofa, breaths rapid and labored. For some reason in her mind now, all were my smiles from years ago. Instinctively she wanted to press call on my number, but her finger lingered on the screen. In the end, doing nothing. She no longer had any right to seek me out, because she herself had personally pushed me out of her life. Lisa Rain's fingers tapped rhythmically on the table. The frustration and turmoil in her heart showed no sign of easing. The discomfort was impossible to dispel. Lance Harlan stepped in from outside the room. In that instant, she seemed to see once more my gentle smile from years ago as I confessed my love to her. Lance Harlan caught her somewhat dreamy gaze and flashed a smug smile. He handed her the pair of plane tickets, already prepared in advance. Rain, have you thought it through? For this honeymoon, let's go to the Maldives, okay? Lisa Rain neither agreed nor refused. She just silently glanced at Lance Harlan. Lowering her head, he put on a pitiful act and said, you've always dreamed of going there. Back then your dad used to say, when you grow up he'll take you. But now that's impossible anymore. His soft, vulnerable demeanor truly left Lisa Rain unable to refuse. Just because of that moment when he bowed his head in sadness. It reminded her of me. Back in the day I would occasionally sulk too, showing the exact same pitiful expression, both flustered yet secretly observing her face. As soon as she nodded in agreement, I would immediately change my expression, beaming with joy, then rush over to hug her tightly, boldly declaring to her, Lisa Rain, you're the best person in the world, the one who treats me the best. Thinking of this, Lisa Rain's heart began to uncontrollably tighten in pain once more. In her daze she nodded in consent. She and Lance Harlan were after all husband and wife in name. Even if it was just an act, it had to be played out fully. So, Lance Harlan excitedly dashed in and out of the room. He bustled back and forth, preparing tirelessly for several days. 3 large suitcases packed full of clothes and shoes. Meanwhile Lisa Rain seemed distracted, her mind elsewhere. She kept staring at her phone screen, as if waiting for a call from someone. Lance Harlan keenly noticed this. A flash of jealousy and hatred crossed his eyes. He clenched his fists so tight his nails dug into his palms. From a wealthy young master fallen on hard times to the son of a gambler, what kind of woman hadn't he encountered? Yet among countless women, only Lisa Rain made him infatuated to the point of madness. He didn't believe he couldn't tame this woman. Finally all the luggage was prepared. Lisa Rain proactively chartered a private jet to take him to the Maldives. Throughout the journey, facing Lance Harlan's attentive and ingratiating gestures, she remained indifferent, not moved in the slightest. She even felt a bit annoyed and closed her eyes tightly. The cold air around her grew denser. In that quiet space, her tense thoughts finally found a chance to ease. Lisa Rain had fallen asleep. She slept so peacefully. And right at that moment, Dr. Lin's phone suddenly called. Lance Harlan looked at Lisa Rain, who had just dozed off. Instinctively he wanted to wake her, but seeing her seemingly immersed in a sweet dream, he felt a bit hesitant, afraid that waking her might give her a bad impression of him. Moreover, deep down a selfish thought arose. What if the caller was that damned man? As soon as he spoke, he might seduce Lisa Rain's heart again. Wouldn't all his efforts go down the drain? So he quietly stepped aside and pressed to answer the call. Dr. Lin's frantic voice, in an instant, spilled everything out. Because this was Lisa Rain's phone. Except for her. She never allowed anyone to touch it. Miss Lisa, are you listening? Mr. Dylan Peace. He's dead. Right now the police are examining the body. The preliminary cause is the worsening illness, combined with continuous blood transfusions leading to death. Lance Harlan's eyes widened in shock. Even the phone dropped to the ground. Lisa Rain beside him suddenly stirred slightly. Lance Harlan gritted his teeth. The fear in his heart now surpassed everything. After all, had only been with Lisa Rain for a year. But he knew full well one thing. In this world Lisa Rain feared nothing. Her only weakness was him. He anxiously clenched his fists. On the other end Dr. Lin kept explaining. But Lance Harlan knew clearly. If Lisa Rain found out that he had passed away, who knows how mad she would go. At that point Lance Harlan dared not think of his own fate. He hurriedly said to Dr. Lin on the line. Dr. Lin, Miss Lisa already knows. We're on our honeymoon now, she said after returning home. She'll let me handle Dylan Peace's funeral. That's decided then. Don't call again. Miss Lisa doesn't want to hear any news about that man anymore. Lance Harlan hung up, his back drenched in sweat. He carefully deleted the call history, placed the phone back in its spot. Just as Lisa Rain woke up, her eyes still a bit hazy, seeing that familiar back, instinctively she softly called Peace. Dr. Lin looked at the disconnected phone, at a loss for what to do. But he knew clearly. Lisa Rain never allowed others to touch her personal items. But now, she actually let Lance Harlan answer her phone for her. Perhaps deep down she had truly let him go. That year, everyone opposed him and Miss Lisa being together. But he used real actions to make everyone acknowledge them. He still remembered the first time meeting him. It was Lisa Rain who brought him back. He wasn't afraid of strangers at all, bouncing around the villa energetically, like someone who never tired. Seeing him, he even rushed over to greet. Hello, I'm Dylan Peace. When Lisa Rain followed behind him, her anxious expression surprised Dr. Lin. Because Lisa Rain, this child unloved by her parents, had never shown such vivid emotions. He was like a ray of light shining into Lisa Rain's life, making her fear someone might steal him away. She was wary of any woman intending to approach him. Back in elementary school, she even believed in the so-called god of love, burning incense and offering gifts daily, just hoping his romantic luck wouldn't be too much. Lisa Rain's love was quiet yet profound. Dr. Lin knew that well, but he never expected two people who loved so deeply would end up like this. Thinking of this, Dr. Lin couldn't help sighing. Perhaps Lisa Rain had truly let go, but he had no idea that just half an hour away, Lisa Rain had met him again in her dream. She couldn't see his face clearly, only sensing the vague profile, along with the warmth and shattered voice. Lisa Rain, I don't need you anymore. Lisa Rain's heart suddenly panicked. She lunged to grab his wrist, but she caught nothing, only a handful of illusory air. The eerie atmosphere plunged her into extreme unease. She vaguely felt something had truly happened to him. Jolting awake from the nightmare, Lisa Rain, drenched in sweat, like someone just rescued from drowning Lance Harlan, his expression unchanged, brought her a glass of warm water. What are you saying? I don't understand a word. Dylan Peace. Lisa Rain, whose mind was still foggy, suddenly snapped alert, immediately grabbing his wrist, relentlessly questioning. Was there a call for me just now? Did you answer it? Did someone mention Dylan Peace? Lance Harlan's face changed in an instant, but he continued to cleverly deny. No, of course not. You mean Dr. Lin? Dr. Lin did call. He said Dylan Peace is living well, and said since you two are divorced, he never wants to see you again. Lisa Rain had no suspicion. The instinctive panic surged. Her hand gripping Lance Harlan's wrist tightened more. He really said that? Lance Harlan's eyes flickered uneasily. Then he nodded decisively. Rain, don't think about it anymore. You and he are divorced. Whatever he does has nothing to do with you anymore. Lisa Rain stopped struggling. She hung her head, giving a dazed smile. So that's what the dream meant. It was a farewell. Lance Harlan finally breathed a sigh of relief. He coquettishly nestled into her arms like a kitten, continuously cooing. Rain, from now on let's just be happy together, okay? I know between us it was a deal, but I really can't stop loving you. Lisa Rain's body stiffened, with no response at all. At this moment no sound could enter her ears. In her mind only my words from the dream echoed. Lisa Rain. I don't need you anymore. Lisa Rain and Lance Harlan stayed in the Maldives. They remained there for a full week. But throughout that week, Lisa Rain was always in a dazed melancholic state. She kept staring at her phone screen, always fantasizing that whether Dr. Lin, or even me, someone would call her, to tell her that I hadn't left yet. She couldn't accept returning home, to face that empty cold villa. Even less could she accept a life without me. She silently cursed herself as sick, clearly having tormented me for so many years. Finally everything was nearing an end. Yet now she couldn't let go. But she consoled herself that I had never personally said those final words to her. So it must not be true. Dreams are always the opposite of reality. So she ignored Lance Harlan, still enjoying the vacation in the Maldives. She coldly said we need to return home. Lance Harlan didn't understand what was happening, but seeing her still fondly stroking the simple wedding ring on her ring finger, he immediately realized why she was so eager to return. An intense unease enveloped his heart. He became anxious and restless, his hand tightly gripping the designer watch he wore. No, absolutely not. He must not let Lisa Rain discover the truth. Rain, let's stay a bit longer before going back, okay? Lance Harlan began pleading in a low voice, using his usual coquettish tactics. But this time Lisa Rain's eyes were cold as frost. She coldly dropped, if you don't want to go, then stay here yourself. With that, she ignored Lance Harlan's expression at the moment, decisively turning to leave. Lance Harlan bit his lip hard, his heart full of unwillingness. He looked at my photos saved on the phone. Jealousy so extreme it seemed to tear his heart apart. On what basis? What exactly? On what basis even after I'm dead? She still clings so persistently. He, Lance Harlan, young and capable. Where exactly was he inferior to me? No, he absolutely couldn't sit and wait for death like this. So that very afternoon, Lisa Rain received another message from my phone number. She was overjoyed, immediately rushing to open it. But that cold message made her heart tremble. Lisa Rain, we're truly over. Don't look for me anymore. Lisa Rain's heart instantly tightened in pain. She knew she had made too many mistakes. It was only natural for me to say such things. But why did her heart hurt so much? She desperately wanted to explain that everything had its reasons. But what could she say now? Clearly I had given her chance after chance. She had lost them herself. Lisa Rain grew despondent, then weary and resigned. Lance Harlan was sitting beside her now, gently holding her body, softly comforting. It's okay. You still have me. I'll never leave you. Lisa Rain didn't resist. Lance Harlan secretly rejoiced, and boldly moved closer to Lisa Rain. Suddenly the phone buzzed with a voice message from a friend. Lisa Rain was immersed in sadness at the moment, so completely unaware of Lance Harlan's abnormality. Lance Harlan sneaked into the bathroom to listen to the friend's call. He irritably spoke. Why make me use another WeChat account? Moreover, this account has no money in it at all. Lance Harlan gradually lost patience. He sneered, just take the money and get it done. What nonsense. If I knew you were so talkative, I wouldn't have asked you. I've transferred the 50,000 yuan. If I don't contact you, absolutely don't call me. The call was abruptly cut off. Lance Harlan looked at my WeChat account on the phone, for a moment lost in thought. On the other side Lisa Rain was still immersed in that message, for a long time saying nothing, and Lance Harlan kept using that fake WeChat account, sending Lisa Rain all sorts of heartless messages, then pretending to come close and comfort Dylan Peace. What did he say now? Rain, it's okay. I'll wait with you for him. Rain, I'll always be by your side. I'll absolutely never leave you. Lance Harlan didn't believe anyone could remain unmoved by this sincerity, but Lisa Rain still had no reaction. She always firmly believed that as long as I hadn't said it to her face, then I must be deceiving myself. Lance Harlan was furious, grinding his teeth. Truly iron not turning to steel. He sought out his old friend again. This time, help me Photoshop a woman next to this man. Make it natural, don't let anyone spot the traces. The friend questioned back, seeming unable to understand what scheme Lance Harlan was plotting. Just help me, that's all. Don't ask about other things. Money's no issue. The friend indeed helped him create a fake photo. In that photo, I was smiling, resting my head on a woman's shoulder, my face full of tenderness. Lance Harlan smiled with satisfaction. That very night, he posted this photo on his social circle, and of course for Lisa Rain to see. This was the first night Lisa Rain stayed up without sleeping. She remembered the last time she pulled an all-nighter was because someone confessed to me. That night she tossed and turned all night. She didn't want to give me to anyone else. Even less wanted to see me resting my head on another's shoulder. But now that nightmare had become reality. She spent the long night thinking who exactly that woman was. She looked at that shared photo countless times. In the end only a bitter smile remained on her lips. She mocked herself. Dylan Peace, your taste is really poor, whether now or before. She stood up, preparing to return home. The previous fear now vanished like smoke. Lisa Rain even thought that as long as I was happy, then anything was fine. Lance Harlan smugly looked at his phone. He was certain that one day he would make her heart move. But right at that moment, Dr. Lin's phone unexpectedly called. Seeing Lisa Rain still in the bathroom, Lance Harlan rushed to answer. Miss Lisa, when exactly are you returning home? Mr. Dylan Peace. His remains really can't wait any longer. Dr. Lin looked at my remains in the funeral home, helplessly sighing. Mr. Dylan's condition is truly too tragic. He needs to be laid to rest soon. Lance Harlan curled his lips in a smug smile. In 3 days I'll return to handle his funeral. Dr. Lin, hearing this, suddenly widened his eyes in astonishment, unable to believe, asking again. Is this really Miss Lisa's wish? Lance Harlan question grew irritated. He snapped, if not then what? Now I'm Lisa Rain's husband. You're just a doctor, don't meddle in others' affairs. The call was abruptly cut. Dr. Lin stared blankly at the calendar on his phone. Because 3 days later was the anniversary of Lisa Rain's mother's death. Over those 3 days Lisa Rain didn't know how she got through. She only felt time passing so slowly. Returning to the villa, every familiar scene pierced her heart like knives. That night, she returned to the burned villa from years ago, trying to search for any remaining traces. But nothing was left. The savage flames had consumed everything, leaving only endless void. And throughout those 3 days Lance Harlan had no time to care for her, because he had to find ways to handle my funeral, hiding it so Lisa Rain wouldn't discover, while not letting Dr. Lin suspect. So he came up with a perfect plan. That was to take my coffin back to my old hometown for the funeral. But he never expected Lisa Rain to be there too, because her mother's grave was also buried right in my old hometown from years ago. That morning, both of them woke very early. Lance Harlan puzzledly looked at Lisa Rain, thinking simply that she couldn't sleep. So he made up an excuse and drove off, while Lisa Rain, after preparing everything, also drove out. The scenery along the way was lush green. The weariness from days past suddenly returned, making Lisa Rain feel suffocated. She drove to her late mother's grave, not knowing how to express herself. Over so many years she kept losing everything. Lost her mother, lost the support of everyone around. And this year she lost the most precious thing in life. She painfully whispered softly, Mom, tell me clearly I should hate him. But why can't I hate him? Mom, Dylan P seems to truly not need me anymore, Mom. Can you help me think of a way to make him come back to me? As she spoke further, Lisa Rain's voice grew smaller and faded. She cried until choked soundless. The tears held back for so long finally fell before her kind mother's grave, as if she was gently comforting this stubborn yet pitiful child. And Lance Harlan had brought the coffin and all the pomp there. He said Lisa Rain didn't care, so the funeral was simplified as much as possible. Dr. Lin bowed his head looking at my remains in the coffin. My face still so pale, even the clothes on me didn't fit at all. Like a shattered porcelain doll lying quietly there, Dr. Lin suddenly prepared my funeral. While everyone saw it as just an act, only Dr. Lin sincerely knelt there. He genuinely prayed for my happiness in the next life. Lance Harlan began to show impatience, but for face, he couldn't flare up, having to watch Dr. Lin bustle about. Since after I and Lisa Rain married, our relationship gradually faded. The social circle now had only a sparse few at the funeral, everyone eerily silent, to the point no one noticed. Lisa Rain hiding behind the gravestone witnessing everything. Lisa Rain couldn't see clearly what they were doing. She had intended to leave, but the call to Lance Harlan 5 minutes ago. On the other end, Lance Harlan deliberately lowered his voice, as if not wanting her to hear any sound. But Lisa Rain still heard Dr. Lin's sorrowful tone. Mr. Lance, the offerings for Mr. Dylan really can't be more skimpy. The call was hastily hung up. At this moment Lisa Rain suddenly heard a not small commotion. Lance Harlan stood in front directing non-stop, as if afraid others would discover. He even sternly warned everyone, today's matter absolutely no one reveal outside. Dr. Lin still hung his head, muttering prayers. Lisa Rain heard. Those were Taoist chants for the deceased. This chant is for whom? An intense unease made Lisa Rain feel like suffocating. She kept consoling herself, how could it be? Just 2 days ago he messaged saying he had a new life, hoping she wouldn't bother him anymore. When she tried to reply she found she'd been deleted. If he's dead, how could he have a new girlfriend? There must be a misunderstanding. But the more she deluded herself, the clearer her ears heard the sobs and whispers around, and Lance Harlan's irritated curses at the bill, and her own heart shattering violently. No, it can't be him. Lisa Rain didn't know how long she stood rooted there, until everyone had left. Lance Harlan even proactively messaged her, today's rehearsal is over, see if my look is handsome. She clicked to view, only then noticing his clothes were completely different from earlier. He was deceiving her. But why deceive her? The one in today's grave, who exactly? She staggered forward. Before her eyes like a thick fog, Lisa Rain nearly collapsed before the gravestone. Lance Harlan hadn't even bothered to engrave a name, only a blurry, unclear portrait. Lisa Rain's trembling hand lightly touched. But the moment she saw clearly, she completely broke down. Because that photo was the one she personally took for him years ago. That was the first time he smiled at her. And now it became the last. The surroundings sank into silence. A deadly silence. Lisa Rain staggered, her face pale without blood, but her eyes bloodshot like bleeding. Like a desperate beast, she stumbled forward, her hands trembling non-stop, lips pale without color. When realizing this was her piece, her throat seemed to have thousands of words to say, but before speaking, she was like drained of all strength, heavily collapsing to the ground. She just stared blankly at his portrait. Then, as if realizing something, actually turned, starting to dig the grave with bare hands. Rain began to drizzle. She couldn't see clearly in the rain, her 10 fingertips bleeding non-stop, pain so much she couldn't speak. But in that mad night, she truly dug up my remains with bare hands. Lance Harlan, to save costs, hadn't even prepared a coffin for me, and when Lisa Rain touched, she could only touch a small, extremely cold hand. Peace, her voice hoarse. Just like that, carrying me out, holding tightly. Impossible, impossible. Peace, you're so cold. Lying here, you must be freezing, right? Peace, I beg you, say something to me. Peace, you're not being good. Look at your age and still so dirty. Let me clean you up. She gently wiped me bit by bit, movements extremely careful, as if afraid to hurt me. But with each hand movement, the rotting flesh couldn't withstand even a touch. Just a light touch. Pus mixed with rotting meat like bone fragments. Layer by layer, skin and flesh quickly peeled off. Lisa Rain froze, stopping all movements. She bowed her head, picking up each fragment, softly saying, Peace. Are you angry at me? Are you blaming? Why, I only came to find you now. Peace. Finally she couldn't accept reality, her mind blank, only endless pain. She sat motionless through the long night. When Lance Harlan discovered Lisa Rain hadn't returned, he paced the villa, non-stop calling her number, but the other end was silent. Lance Harlan's heart anxious and restless, trying to recall. If had done something wrong again. If Lisa Rain had discovered my matter. Impossible, impossible. How could she find out? Don't scare yourself. He waited a full nearly 3 hours. Until 4 a.m., finally telling Dr. Lin, though Dr. Lin didn't know where she went. But deep down he had a feeling that Rain had found me. So he didn't even tell Lance Harlan. Rushing to the cemetery from daytime. The cemetery after rain. Extremely damp. He non-stop called in the fog, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa. Finally, he saw Lisa Rain collapse there. Mind dazed, soul scattered. Her whole body soaked like fished from water. Seeing Dr. Lin, she gave a childlike silly smile. Dr. Lin, I found Dylan Peace. But he seems unwilling to forgive me yet. Dr. Lin's heart shocked. Only now noticing she held a skeleton. He sat slumped, face full of astonishment. Miss Lisa, but Lisa Rain completely unaware that her behavior was wrong. Instead looking at him blankly. What's wrong, Dr. Lin? Why don't you come help me? Dylan Peace, he's cold now. Hurry and help me. Dr. Lin, suppressing his fear softly, spoke gently. Miss Lisa, let's go home first, okay? Mr. Dylan is very cold now. Needs to go home soon under a warm blanket. Didn't you say? You've finally found him. Lisa Rain nodded like a child, but just standing up, her vision began to darken. After a day and night of torment, her strength now completely exhausted, the last moment before fainting, she still reminded Dr. Lin, remember to bring Dylan Peace home. He's afraid of cold, remember to cover him with more blankets. Looking at the remains in her hands, it took him a while to get her to let go. He knew continuing like this wasn't good, so that night he cremated my remains. Looking at Lisa Rain on the bed, still frowning in distress, he helplessly sighed. Miss Lisa, the rest can only depend on you. Lisa Rain sank into a very long dream. In the dream she suddenly discovered I had died. She personally dug up my remains. She remembered my body then so cold. That cold made her heart tremble. Jolting awake from the nightmare, she opened her eyes, seeing the familiar villa ceiling. Beside Dr. Lin warming soup for her, she struggled painfully. Those words stuck bitterly in her throat. She didn't want to ask nor know the truth, but she still spoke. Dr. Lin, that wasn't a dream, right? Dr. Lin didn't know how to answer, only placing the ash urn right before her. He helplessly said, Miss Lisa, accept the change. The moment seeing the ash urn, Lisa Rain began to go mad. She struggled to sit up. The sorrow suppressed for 10 days, finally erupted and spread. She hugged the ash urn, sobbing softly. Why use such a tiny box? Peace said he likes big houses. Locking him here, he must be sad. This state lasted a full 7 days. And throughout those 7 days, Lisa Rain said no more words, but actually she did speak, limited to a few short words. Only before my ashes did her words gradually increase. She cared for the ash urn like a small child, even telling me stories daily. Peace, are you feeling better today? Even though answering her was only endless void, but she persistently spoke. Dr. Lin finally couldn't stand by anymore. Seeing her going mad again, he stepped forward, non-stop repeating that cruel truth. Miss Lisa, he's passed away. You can't keep making him worry about you like this. The bitterness in Lisa Rain's heart surged, finally finding a place to vent. Her eyes full of sorrow, but I have no other way. Without him I'll die. Dr. Lin looked hopelessly at Lisa Rain. This situation had happened once before, and that time it was because I discovered the truth. My bloodshot eyes, then she still remembered now. As if in an instant I accumulated thousands of resentments. She heard her own scream, Lisa Rain. I'll never love you again. Right in that moment, Lisa Rain's eyes became empty just like now. She muttered to herself for a long while, refusing to believe the truth. Peace. Peace, but then I had long run far away, leaving her standing alone there. Back then she was just like now. Dr. Lin hesitated long, not knowing if to tell her or not. On the other side, Lance Harlan kept messaging, asking where Lisa Rain was. Why not let him see her? On the 7th day, Lisa Rain suddenly seemed to understand something. Early morning she ate properly. Afternoon nap no longer. Mumbling before the ash urn, she seemed back to before, a determined, unyielding Lisa Rain. She sat on the sofa, looking at my old photos on the phone, silently saying, "You discovered peace" has the 2 words after. She didn't want to say, simply because she couldn't bear. Dr. Lin's eyes flashed confusion. He replied, "Lisa Rain, the 2nd day after Mr. Dillon's death I reported to you." Lisa Rain's hand suddenly clenched. In her memory no such thing. Immediately after Dr. Lin's next words, completely awakened her. It was Mr. Lance Harlan who answered. He said, "From now on no need to report Mr. Dillon's matters to you, saying you two have no relation anymore." Lisa Rain's heart like bleeding. She uttered helplessly and sorrowfully, "That's Dillon Peace, the most important in my life. How could I say such words?" Dr. Lin suddenly understood everything. Lance Harlan's weird expression then, and his own concealment these days. He immediately knelt. "Sorry. It's all my fault. But now dwelling on that means nothing." Lisa Rain knew I was gone. She looked at the phone. The other side kept sending messages. "Lisa Rain, don't look for me anymore. We have absolutely no relation." "Lisa Rain, I have a new girlfriend. We won't have any outcome." "Lisa Rain, don't look for me." Lisa Rain gave a bitter smile, but in that smile full of hatred and fury. Why hadn't she realized before? I never spoke like this. She hated her own ignorance. Also hated indulging Lance Harlan too much, letting him boldly do such heinous things. "Dr. Lin, I must go back. Take good care of Dillon Peace. Don't reveal these days' matters to anyone. If asked, say I just went out for a stroll to relax." Dr. Lin, having been by Lisa Rain for so many years, immediately understood what was happening. He nodded firmly. Then, "Mr. Lance." Lisa Rain looked at the threatening words from me on the phone, her eyes more vicious. "He actually wants to be the master of the Lisa family so much. Then I'll grant him that position. Whether he can hold it depends on himself." The next day, Lance Harlan just woke, saw Lisa Rain standing silently beside him, her lips in a half-smile awake. Lance Harlan felt a chill, but the next second, Lisa Rain opened her arms to hug him tightly. "I have a gift for you." Lance Harlan in an instant felt his heart filled with immense joy. He thought she finally understood that he was the true love of her life. "What auspicious day is today?" Lance Harlan asked. He excitedly ran to see the rewards on the ground, completely unaware of Lisa Rain's sinister gaze behind. "Lance Harlan, I've thought it through. After all, Dillon Peace doesn't need me anymore. Then no need to cling to him. From now on this villa is just us two." Lance Harlan overjoyed. He held Lisa Rain's hand, teasing suggestively. Lisa Rain didn't avoid, wrapping her arm around his waist. "There are more surprises. Don't rush, let's take it slow." Lance Harlan, excited to the extreme, immediately kissed Lisa Rain's left cheek. "Okay, wife, I'll prepare right now." Lisa Rain softly smiled, watching his back as he went to shower. Then she calmly used alcohol to wipe clean where he touched, wiping over and over countless times, until her skin reddened, still not stopping, veins bulging on her forehead. She seemed unable to suppress anymore. The sky-high hatred for Lance Harlan made her eyes redden terrifyingly. This was the consequence of her reading those messages all last night. She wouldn't let Lance Harlan live peacefully. She wanted him to live in torment forever. So had never dare mention my name again. Lance Harlan just stepped out, happening to witness this scene. His heart skipped a beat. A vague fear arose. Lisa Rain said nothing, dragging him out. Lance Harlan sensed something, but didn't know where wrong, until strolling the street, where he just passed, suddenly a large flower pot fell. His soul scattered, staring at Lisa Rain's face. Rain, but Lisa Rain too. The incident just now showed no surprise, even sighing with regret. She awkwardly comforted, "What's to fear? With me here, what are you afraid of?" She held his hand, continuing, her arms like iron bars, gripping his wrist without release. Lance Harlan finally felt extreme terror. He even suddenly thought that Lisa Rain wanted to kill him. Lance Harlan was the type to say whatever came to mind, so he charged right up to her face, demanding, "Lisa Rain, do you still hate me? Hate me for coming between you and Dillon Peace? If you really don't love me, I can just leave." After saying that, he ran off crying. Lisa Rain paused for a second, then suddenly pulled him into her arms. What nonsense are you talking? How could I possibly hate you? I love you more than anything. Look, this is the private villa I'm giving you. From now on it'll just be the two of us there. Lance Harlan was stunned by this sudden joy. In the corner she couldn't see, he flashed a triumphant smile, thinking everything was still under his control. But he had no idea that in the coming month he'd face hell on earth. Lisa Rain's gaze toward him held no affection anymore. Only boundless hatred remained. Looking at the massive villa before her, for the first time she felt the thrill of revenge. How could she let him die so easily? She had to torment him right in this villa. She wanted him to live in agony forever, forcing him to spend his life atoning for her peace. When I regained consciousness, all around was pitch black darkness. Two figures looking like from ancient times were watching me, helplessly sighing, your romantic fate is not yet severed. You must wait until the bond is exhausted before coming here. Those two finished speaking and vanished, leaving only me, wandering in the endless night. I felt nothing at all, heard no sounds whatsoever, could only stand there in solitude, until someone seemed to be turning my body. I felt my body itch a bit, but when I saw the sorrowful woman before me, my mind held no memories at all. I didn't know her, but why the moment I saw her, did my heart ache so much? As if I'd loved her my entire life. That woman dug up my remains. Only then did I gradually sense my surroundings. This place seemed like a cemetery. So I was dead. Indeed, looking at my own empty body, I realized I was truly no longer in this world. I couldn't go anywhere, could only stand aside quietly observing that woman. She looked so beautiful, with sword-like brows and starry eyes, even in this terrifying scene. It couldn't hide the pure aloof aura emanating from her. Perhaps she was very important to me, but I absolutely couldn't remember anything about all that happened when I was alive. I could only vaguely see a few shadows. The rest I helplessly sat there and let go. I thought that woman would just sit for a while. Who knew she'd sit there for a full day and night? I could feel her figure gradually becoming transparent. I dazedly thought, perhaps she'd end up dying right here too. But I didn't want that. Didn't want her to die at all. I didn't understand why another person came here. Surprisingly, this person felt incredibly familiar too, as if when alive I'd known him. But his face also held endless sorrow. Seeing that woman, he immediately knelt. Lisa Rain, don't do this anymore. Mr. Dillon would surely be heartbroken seeing this. Lisa Rain, I heard her name clearly, such a nice name. In an instant I etched it into my heart. But who is Dillon Peace? Why was she so sorrowful for Dillon Peace? Looking at that woman's expression, I guess Dillon Peace must be incredibly important to her. But such a stunning woman. Why make others suffer? I dazedly pondered for a long time. So long that the two had finished talking, who knows when. I just stood watching her figure, finally unable to hold on and collapsing. In that instant I felt my heart endlessly empty. My heart also began stinging in waves of pain. I didn't understand why. Why seeing her faint made me so sorrowful. Dr. Lin took both away. He made a call to cremate those incomplete remains. During cremation, I felt my soul as if burning in flames too. Intense pain. I struggled non-stop in agony, so I forced myself to run aside, hoping to find a place without pain. I don't know how long passed. The pain finally ended. I saw the ash urn held tightly in Lisa Rain's arms. For some reason, I also felt the warmth from her chest. Along with endless sorrow, Lisa Rain had gone mad for several days straight. Sometimes I followed beside Dr. Lin too, helplessly advising her with him, it's okay. Everything will pass. All things will fade into the past. But she couldn't hear my voice. Just kept muttering to herself before the ash urn. Dr. Lin was tired. I felt weary too. That night, I was drawn by some sounds. Lisa Rain was holding the ash urn, gazing at the waning moon. She whispered many words. Peace. Wait for me just a bit longer, okay? I'll come find you soon. With that, she bent down, gently kissing the ash urn. Right in that moment, a piercing pain shot through my soul. I touched my empty heart, feeling that kiss both cold and passionate, and suddenly realized everything. So I am Dillon Peace. As for Lisa Rain, she had planned to torment Lance Harlan for a few years, then kill him after, and finally end herself to follow Dillon Peace. But she calculated thousands of times, never anticipating one development. That was Lance Harlan escaping. Lance Harlan desperately ran to the avenue, as if a terrifying monster chased behind. Ahead, a white car speeding terrifyingly. He recklessly dashed into the road, using his body to block the car. The driver got out cursing non-stop, but he only knelt before the driver, begging, pleading desperately, save me. Please save me, someone wants to kill me. The driver's rage turned to fear, because, seeing the man before him no intact skin left, he thought another escapee from some mental hospital. Scram, get lost. Lance Harlan, unwilling to abandon this last hope for life, rushed to kowtow, repeatedly banging his head, pleading, please save my life. Please save me. Someone really wants my life. I'm not lying. Someone wants to kill me. The driver wanted to leave, but Lance Harlan gripped his pant leg, refusing to let go. And right as they struggled, Lisa Rain suddenly appeared before them like a ghost. She softly said remorsefully, "I'm so sorry, sir. My boyfriend's mental state is a bit unstable. Since we've been together, he always thinks I want to harm him." Lance Harlan, hearing her voice, his eyes instantly widened. He shrank in terror for self-defense. "No, it's not." The driver looked at the woman before him. With her tragic, pleading demeanor, his anger halved. He muttered, "So that's it. Then remember not to let him out anymore. Really scary. Take good care of him. A good woman like you will surely get good karma." The driver returned to the car, not even glancing at Lance Harlan again. Lance Harlan madly chased, clinging to the car door. He pounded the window hard, tears streaming. "No, don't go. She wants to kill me. Please save me. Please save me." But the driver never looked back, until the car vanished from his sight. He still screamed for help nonstop. "Help, help!" Lisa Rain, seeing the person gone far, only then slowly spoke, her voice like a demon from the underworld. "What right do you have to cry for help?" Lance Harlan, seeing rescue hopeless, turned desperately, running forward, but unluckily tripped and fell, knees immediately swollen red. The pain made him grimace, but he paid no mind to the small wound, still crawling forward with effort, until Lisa Rain stepped on his hem. Only then did he turn in horror, begging, "Please forgive me. I really know I was wrong. Please spare me. I shouldn't have interfered in your relationship. In the damned third wheel. I'm so despicable. I really know I was wrong. Please let me go." He spoke while trembling violently, finally ignoring all physical pain, began kowtowing to apologize. In just 10 short seconds, the ground stained with blood spots. "Spare you?" Lisa Rain bent down, aura commanding, as if unbelieving, questioning back. "If I spare you, then who will spare my peace?" Lance Harlan completely despaired, his eyes empty and soulless. Like a final struggle, he screamed desperately at Lisa Rain. "I'm at fault, but are you innocent? Wasn't it you who sought me out repeatedly?" "Lisa Rain, you're the mad one. You're truly the craziest in the world. Serves Dylan peace right for leaving you." Those words touched Lisa Rain's deepest pain. She gave a faint smile. "Yes, I am indeed mad. And you'll go to hell with me." The guards behind immediately hoisted Lance Harlan up, mercilessly dragging him back. Lance Harlan hung his head, looking at the shattered phone tossed in the corner. Lips slightly curled. How could he resign to hell with her? He wanted to trample her underfoot, make her die without burial. Just wait, my revenge. 3 days later, news of the Lisa family heiress imprisoning a man instantly topped global searches. Looking at the photo in the news, Dr. Lin halted his steps. In the photo even being taken away, Lisa Rain showed no remorse, but her hand gripped that item tightly. It was the handmade ring he once gave her years ago. Dr. Lin never expected things to reach this point. Lisa Rain, facing interrogators and countless media press, she calmly expressionless, "I have nothing to say." And at her apartment, where the incident was discovered, was Lance Harlan's horrified pale face, along with Timmy, finally rescued. Right after these words released, public opinion stirred up, shocked. Everyone couldn't believe that this was Lisa Rain, who once loved Dylan Peace, loved to the bone willingly. And what made everyone even more incredulous was the one she imprisoned was her own mistress. Lance Harlan rushed to hospital, looking at the media video, his lips curled smugly. His previous escape wasn't just to flee, more importantly to seize chance to spread info. He sent the entire current situation via internet to numerous paparazzi. Lance Harlan knew he'd surely be caught back. From the start he held no hope of escaping. What he wanted was to blow this up. Let the world know. Make the Lisa family lose face, reputation ruined. Lisa Rain directly admitted guilt, completely without resistance. Lance Harlan facing the negotiating lawyer, thinking he held the winning hand. He laughed triumphantly. "I need no compensation. What I want is to throw Lisa Rain into dark prison. Otherwise I still have more evidence." Dr. Lin, beside hearing those ridiculous words, couldn't help bursting into laughter. Lance Harlan instantly shamed to anger. "What are you laughing at? Now you all must beg me. If I get angry, then your Miss Lisa is done for. However, if you're willing to hand over 100 million, then send me abroad. I wouldn't mind letting it go." This matter. Lance Harlan kept dreaming of a bright future, eyes full of illusions. Dr. Lin coldly looked at him, cutting off all hopes. "You think you can manipulate public opinion, but we can't." Lance Harlan awakened, only now hurriedly checking online opinions. Turns out, all his so-called evidence was deemed fabricated. Even Lisa Rain diagnosed with severe PTSD. All his statements seen as delirious ramblings. In just one night, his supposed ace failed miserably, not a shred left. "No, impossible. Let me see Lisa Rain. I want to see Lisa Rain." Lance Harlan screamed and breakdown. Dr. Lin only gave him a bone-chilling cold look. "Save those words for your cellmates." He decisively didn't look back, turned and walked away resolutely. When Lisa Rain staggered to the villa, she stood frozen at the gate, long unable to step in. She suddenly remembered the early days buying this villa. "I personally prepared a lavish feast. We drank the nuptial wine right in the living room. I whispered to her that I wanted to be her bride, become the most beautiful bride of her life. But now as she pushed the big gate, the air held only an old decaying smell. Her voice echoed in the space. She softly said, "Welcome home." Peace. She was talking to herself, and also to the ash urn in her arms. Lisa Rain had decided to leave. Before she always thought I was the one who couldn't live without her. Now she awakened realizing she was the one who couldn't leave him. She couldn't accept a world without him. Even the air around seemed thinner. Every night in dreams, she saw his hazy face. She wanted to reach out and hug him, but he vanished without trace. Lisa Rain jolted awake from the nightmare, sweating profusely. She muttered, "Is this the punishment you give me?" Peace. Lisa Rain began endless sleepless nights. Dark circles deeply etched under her eyes. Dr. Lin saw this wasn't good. Had to prescribe her some sedatives. She hugged his old clothes tightly. For the first time Lisa Rain sank into deep sleep, but even I didn't expect that I could enter her dream. In the dream Lisa Rain returned to childhood, her small hands gripping that necklace tightly, eyes glaring at everyone resentfully. Like a little gray wolf. "Mom, why haven't you come to pick me up yet?" No one touches my mom. But the faces around were blurred. They looked no different from demons, trying to snatch her mom's necklace from her hands. The wall photo dated the year she turned 5. I remembered clearly that was the year her mom died. Seeing Lisa Rain's helpless form before me, I opened my arms to hug her, gently coaxing. In real life she suffered too much already, I quietly thought. At least in dreams she could find some tiny happiness. Her tears soaked my shirt hem. She looked up her small face, blinking eyes at me. "You're not Mom. Who are you?" I didn't know how to answer her question, because my identity now was truly ironic. Had to lie to her that I'm a fairy sent from heaven to save you. Lisa Rain, now so naive. Her cuteness was that any reason I gave she believed wholeheartedly, even sweetly calling me brother. But I also noticed one thing, that her childhood had no joy at all. Lisa Rain's father, always surrounded by various mistresses, if not beating then viciously scolding. Lisa Rain gradually became sullen, quiet, even locking herself in a dark room. That door never opened again. But from outside, endless banging and curses echoed, enough to destroy a child's entire childhood. Each time hearing those sounds, I hugged her tightly. "Don't fear, don't fear." I began softly singing again, the lullaby Lisa Rain once sang to lull me years ago. This trick for a young child like her truly worked every time. Lisa Rain quickly fell asleep in my arms, peaceful extraordinarily. In just one night, childhood Lisa Rain told me all her deepest secrets. She said deep down she didn't want to be a good child, but both parents taught that if not good, parents wouldn't love her anymore. But now she looked at me helplessly, blankly asking clearly, "I'm very good now. Why don't parents love me anymore?" Hearing that my heart ached unbearably. Those painful memories gradually receded. In my mind only remained her icy exterior, but soul forever childlike of Lisa Rain. But my time left was scarce. I could only stay in the mortal world for 14 days. After 14 days I'd enter Reincarnation. Next morning when Lisa Rain woke, after so many days she finally had a good sleep, but waking her heart empty indescribably, because she always felt she'd dreamed of him. So someone used to staying up like Lisa Rain, for the first time to sleep early, resorted to all means, even drinking large amounts of sedatives, just hoping to meet me again. But this time she couldn't meet me anymore. Even that night she was taken by Dr. Lin for gastric lavage. The doctor said the sedatives she took were too much. Just a bit more and she wouldn't have survived. Dr. Lin, heartbroken, angrily yet lovingly scolded Lisa Rain. "Do you really want to die that much? If Mr. Dillon saw you like this, he surely wouldn't be happy." But Lisa Rain only gave a dazed smile, telling Dr. Lin, "But Dr. Lin, I dreamed of him. In the dream he hugged me, he told me stories, he chatted with me, he praised me as the cutest girl in the world. Dr. Lin, I beg you don't stop me anymore." Dr. Lin still angrily shouted, "You did meet him, but you almost died too. Aren't you afraid of death?" And what shocked everyone present was Lisa Rain's will to live at rock bottom. She calmly replied, "I'm not afraid of death. He's waiting for me on the other side. As long as I can meet him again, I fear nothing anymore." But my heart ached for her. I didn't want to see her die. For several days after, I didn't enter her dreams again. Those illusory memories suddenly empty. I only hoped she could live well in this world. Lisa Rain tried every way, but none worked. Finally she nearly collapsed, kneeling down, looking up, gulping several bottles of strong liquor, pale-face pleading, "I beg you, please come meet me in dreams once more, okay?" My heart softened again, so I agreed. That night I entered her realm again. This time in dreams she was a bit older, wearing the international high school uniform, looking extremely handsome and radiant. Seeing me come, Lisa Rain instinctively raised her arms to shield, her face covered in bruises. "Who are you? I've never seen you. Could it be you're here to beat me too?" My heart stung instantly. During high school she studied abroad. I had no idea she'd been bullied at school. My trembling hand intended to touch her wounds, seeing Lisa Rain like a porcupine with quills up protecting herself. I softly said, "I'm your brother." Lisa Rain, hearing that, grew more suspicious. Her guarded eyes deeply get lost. "I don't remember having a brother." With that, she madly rushed forward. I chased behind her, running past a billboard. Now she was 15. That year was the one Lisa Rain never wanted to mention most. Also the year she was most bullied and humiliated. Indeed, not escaping more than 2 streets, she was blocked right at the school gate by a group of burly thugs. They grabbed her collar, grinning sleazily, still acting all high and mighty. "Didn't you party with us before? Now want to cut ties? You think you're still a good student?" Lisa Rain gritted her teeth, head up, cursing directly. "I thought you were decent. Who knew behind backs doing such filthy stupid things? Let go your dirty hands now." That thug flew into rage, seeing her attitude. He swung a resounding slap to her face. The fiery slap. Instantly, Lisa Rain's face showed a red swollen mark. "You believe I'd tell them? That trash like you still wants to play with us? You think this is your house? Come on, let me take you for something more exciting." They roughly dragged her, and I suddenly charged out. Seeing those thugs, I like a mad tiger. "Damn it all, scram. Anyone dares touch her, I'll take your life." The thugs, first startled, but seeing me, just an ordinary boy, immediately changed attitude. "Oh, another pretty boy, come on. You join us for some fun too." They laughed boisterously, charging at me. Instinctively I wanted to turn and run, but the 3 boys facing gripped my wrists tight, not letting go. The expected pain didn't come. Lisa Rain, like a mad person, rushed to block before me. Her eyes red terrifyingly. She screamed, "Scram. All scram for me." The small self-defense knife in her hand waved non-stop, trying to protect me. Witnessing her like that, for the first time I felt heartbroken tightening. I had no idea that those memories she seemed indifferent to hid such endless pain. "Lisa Rain, are you okay?" Lisa Rain staggered up, spitting blood, then speeding away, running while yelling, "Nosy, you here to watch my joke too?" But I behind softly said, opening arms to hug her slender body, "No, I came to save you." I watched her run slower and slower, finally stopping completely, shoulders trembling non-stop. I rushed to hug her tightly. Only then did she burst sobbing in extreme pain. "I'm so scared. I really feel terrified. Why only come now? Why couldn't you come a bit earlier?" I didn't know how to answer her question. Could only silently sit with her until dawn. And then Lisa Rain woke again from the dream, her face showing clear satisfaction. She looked at Dr. Lin with a silly smile. "I've met him. He's always by my side." When Dr. Lin found someone to set up the altar ritual, I felt my soul, as if drawn by some invisible force. Seeing my actual form, he almost immediately had to close his eyes. After all, my appearance after death was too horrifying. But this time the one seeking me wasn't Lisa Rain, but Dr. Lin himself. He and I had been close for a long time, knowing full well he had such a kind soul. Moreover, he cared for Lisa Rain so long. But truly unexpected, learning I was still beside her, not entering reincarnation, he only sobbed, begging Dylan, "Peace. Indeed, Miss Lisa wronged you. But I truly beg you one thing. Could you help Miss Lisa once more? Before I thought you were the one who couldn't live without Miss Lisa. Only I didn't expect I was wrong. Wrong terribly. Now Miss Lisa neither eats nor drinks. Her whole body emaciated, skin and bones. If you're still here, could you advise her to live on? I know you can enter Miss Lisa's dreams. So Mr. Dillon, I beg you, save her." His words full of sincerity, even as a spirit now. I couldn't hold back before his sorrow. Dr. Lin was a materialist, never believed in ghosts and gods, yet now for Lisa Rain, begging an unprovable soul like me. But I'm about to fade too. What can I help her with now? But the moment seeing Lisa Rain, my heart completely shattered. She was visibly haggard. On her once elegant noble face, now only empty eyes still moving. Dr. Lin wasn't wrong. She was truly near death. That night I entered her realm once more. In the dream, she returned to the first time I said break up to her. Hearing Dr. Lin that period she suffered greatly. Seeing the shallow deep scars on her wrists, I immediately rushed to hug her tightly. Feeling the familiar warmth, she looked up shocked, eyes full of tremor. "Peace. Why are you here? Didn't you abandon me?" This time I no longer said heartless words like before, no longer cruelly discarding her, but hugged her body even tighter, choking, "I won't break up with you. Until I close my eyes in death I'll always love you." The damp cold space around suddenly vanished. Brilliant white lights shone in. Lisa Rain blankly hugged me, realizing I truly existed. She burst sobbing, Sorry. These times you must have suffered much, right? I never wanted to punish you. Just thinking of your words, my heart couldn't accept. On what basis? But now I understand. Turns out your life wasn't happy either. Sorry Rain, sorry so much." Lisa Rain wiped my tears, hugging me deeply again. Because she knew I was about to leave, I gently said to her like before, "I'll go down first to guide you. Wait until you've lived your life and mine too. Then I'll be down there waiting for you. So Rain, live well. Otherwise I'll leave decisively, not wait anymore. Lisa Rain's sorrow intensified. She gripped my hand, body trembling. No, I just met you again. I don't want you to go. Let's stay here together, okay? But my spirit began illusory, gradually floating up. She chased, calling, then tripped, falling. Heartrending cry, peace. Don't abandon me. I could only use my last strength. Placing a kiss on her forehead. And final message, Rain. Live well. From then, my spirit faded more, while Lisa Rain began more optimistic, positive. Dr. Lin was overjoyed seeing her change. Also reminded to burn more offerings for me, but looking into Lisa Rain's eyes, no matter how I saw endless despair. But I had no mind to manage that anymore. Finally I could enter Reincarnation. The day Lisa Rain reorganized my funeral, all school friends came fully. Whenever someone came to pay respects, Lisa Rain patiently explained the old story once, telling everyone she let me down. Friends hearing all fell silent. Actually they knew well that these years I and Lisa Rain lived unhappily, even witnessed me in pain seeking death. Just they always kept quiet. Dr. Lin also came to pay respects. He bowed, sending late apology, saying truly sorry to me. If he discovered earlier, I wouldn't have suffered so much bitterness. But I no longer hated, not even a bit of resentment. I'm about to enter Reincarnation. Farewell this mortal world. My funeral was personally handled by Lisa Rain. The hall filled with butterfly orchids I loved most. Even the ash urn had the pattern I always wanted. Dr. Lin even joked lightly with Lisa Rain that even an ash urn so elaborate, only you understand because you believe I can truly see. And the funeral portrait, cut from our shared photo, between me and Lisa Rain. The portrait maker then hesitated a bit, using a photo with a living person. Might there be ill omen? But Lisa Rain only softly smiled. She replied, it's fine. Just do as I say. Now no other photos left. But actually there were. All my previous photos she treasured. How could there be no solo photos? I didn't understand why she did that. But no mind to think anymore. When the Taoist performed the ritual, at first, I felt my spirit light as a feather. Old memories flooded back, replaying slowly in mind. Mostly river scenes. From when Rain was still a child I loved her. I love her. Love all her forms. From then I began pursuing her. Unlike other pursuers, I never discouraged. Whenever she sat, I'd be beside, finding ways to cheer her. I like a small sun sneaking into Lisa Rain's life. And then after we started dating, each passing day, Lisa Rain gave me a small surprise. Never interrupted. Memory fixed on the moment I smiled at Lisa Rain, holding high the ring made from kintab. I smiled, then half-closed eyes, body increasingly light, as if returning to mother's warm embrace. Ahead a blinding white light appeared. I followed that light forward. At the road's end, Timmy was frolicking, then rushed to hug me. Dad's here. I hugged the boy tightly, silently promising, hoping next life, I can become his real father. Timmy nodded slightly, beaming smile, replying definitely will. With that, the boy held my hand, stepping forward. Finally I welcomed a new life for myself. Third day after funeral ended, Lisa Rain woke on the familiar bed. She sat up, pouring herself a glass of cold water. She still couldn't adapt to life without him, because before he always prepared hot tea for her. She never worried about no water. Lisa Rain had decided to leave. She drove to the university, where marked our passionate memories. There still lingered his 20-something shadow. She remembered clearly the moment he suddenly appeared in her life, like a warm ray shining her whole life. But she lost her life's light, forever unable to find back. But arriving, she learned university started break. Around almost no one. She walked a circle, then dazedly sat down before the gate. A lecturer recognized her, approached asking, "Are you Lisa Rain?" Lisa Rain stunned a moment, gave a forced smile, then nodded slightly. The lecturer suddenly asked, "So where's Dylan Peace? Why didn't he come back with you? Back then he felt deeply for you. We all were stuffed with your dog food." Lisa Rain's eyes gradually darkened. Then the lecturer noticed the box beside her. On it my portrait. He sighed, not knowing how to speak. Lisa Rain only faintly smiled. "It's fine, teacher. I believe he's always beside me." That lecturer didn't know what to add, only lamenting. I still remember clearly. Back then he loved most standing under that big tree waiting for you. I often saw him dressed sharp to meet you. Later you confessed successfully right under that tree. Yet now. With that the lecturer silently left. Lisa Rain, as if hearing something, extremely shocked. She suddenly stood up. She remembered she'd buried something here. Hurriedly searched and dug it up. Open to see. Turns out just a thin letter. The words handwritten by me. Lisa Rain read each word slowly, only now realizing I truly endured too many grievances. All pains, heartaches I hid silently, not saying half word. I actually chose the cruelest punishment to hurt her. The letter blurred by tears. She self-slapped. Finally burst sobbing, calling, "Peace, peace." Lisa Rain couldn't suppress anymore. She wailed tragically in despair. When about to leave, she deliberately found my favorite outfit. She wanted meeting him still radiant, beautiful as beginning. Then she trimmed her hair. Because before I said, Lately she no longer cared for appearance. Looking like a wandering drifter, finally she bathed clean with hot water. I was clean-loving, hated most dirty filthy things. She wanted neat tidy to meet me. She looked in mirror over and over, face beaming joy as if meeting her beloved. And then she drank all sedatives. Pill bottles scattered silently on bed. Flames from four sides old house began spreading. To not implicate surroundings, she drew a barrier around old house. Just for savage flames to burn inside the room only. Her chest suddenly twisted in intense pain. But she felt immensely happy. Because finally she'd meet the one she longed nightly. She dared not hope I'd forgive her. Only prayed to see him happy forever. Consciousness gradually faded. As if stepping into another world. Their golden sun still shone brilliantly. Even air filled with gentle warmth. She only silently watched me standing under distant tree. Burst laughing, finally I found you. This time I'll never let go. I also smiled back at her. Rushed to hug her, yeah, we promised.